Welcome. Welcome to part 6 of our little Ender CNC series. Today with co-host. Let's see how long he stays. Um, yeah, so last time we kind of got not as far as I hoped we would get. We only managed to finish up the wiring. I totally underestimated how many crimps there had to be done. But today, hopefully it's a big day. So I also my shortcuts still don't work. Hi there, Hi there, Mr. Desai. Welcome. So I also installed like a very weird temporary spoil board. I had this like still laying around, and incidentally, it just about fit the Ender CNC. It's not very square, but that should not stop us. I anchored it in 2 spots in the front and 1 spot in the back, just like that. This is like fixed. Like it's not super stable because like there's nothing here on the sides for it to rest on, and it's a very thin. It's like I think 3 or 4 millimeter, 4 millimeter, I think it is. MDF plate, but this should be good enough for today. To just make some carvings. So that's kind of my goal for today is just doing some carvings. And now that I say that, oh, said Loki, I still have the end mills under the table, but that's the problem for later. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite excited. So my plan basically would be to first let's install the spindle. So spindle is a router, but we call it spindle. So we will install that. I'm just gonna like have the wire, the cable of the router just flying around for now. Later on, so there will be at least one more part of the series where we put this whole thing into an enclosure. I will also have a dust shoe installed here, and then there will be like a vacuum hose from the dust shoe. And my plan is to just have the cable then clamped to that vacuum hose. That's like for later. Besides that, I think we have all the drag chains here. We still have like a lot of cables flying around here. This will be later somewhere here. So we have to be a little bit cautious with all these like random cables flying around. But it's also for later to solve that. Maybe for now we can just lay it flat. I thought about maybe it's smart to just like mount it in some way to something, but yeah, let's just keep it like this. We also have our electronics thingy, and there's actually something I want to try out. I'm not sure if I can show that. I do have a shop vacuum here under the table. And that does have like a power outlet, and I kind of want to try what happens if I just plug in the whole CNC to this power outlet of the vacuum. So I'm curious if the steppers are drawing enough power to turn on the vacuum. If not, that would be amazing. So it just like turns on automatically when the spindle turns on, but that's for later. I remember now the pick for Ravenkeeper. Temporary spoil board. Yeah, this is just like there will be a proper spoil board. What I have in mind, but I have to kind of like plan it fully. I will just have like a nice, perfectly fitting spoil board here. And we will drill a hole pattern into that spoil board, which I have to come up with something like every 5 by 5 centimeters or something. And I already have M6. I'm not sure how they call them in English. Like basically these M6 nuts you can like punch into wood. Then basically that we have an M6 pattern here that you can use to mount stuff. So the spoil board will be like a semi-permanent thing. I really want to have something where I can like clamp things onto. And I also want to have a metal like L bracket here in the corner that I can just use to align stuff. So that will be like for like another stream to set up. So today I just want to make it do stuff. So, oh, and we have cake. I did not forget to buy cake this time. So we will have a celebration cake once we have the first carving. Okay, but let's not waste too much time. And let's get started. So I kind of want to do like a small unboxing of this Makita router that I will use, but I actually used it before. um, I did use it now already once for like a router thing because I have a small Bosch router. It's the Bosch 12 volt, which is amazing as like just like putting chamfers on stuff and like chamfers roundings and stuff like that. And I also use it quite a bit to copy shapes, but also like more like in MDF and other like less tough materials. And 2 weeks ago, I had to copy like shape from like hardwood into hardwood or like into hardwood. And the Bosch router was not cutting it at all. And then I remembered like, oh, I do have the Makita laying around. So I did take it for a spin and it worked very nice, but now it's not pristine anymore. Like it already saw some combat. But no less, this will go in here now. And I don't think we need any of the tools. Like I think we will need the wrenches here. And then very important, there's a small little adapter piece, but I think we're already on the correct one. Yeah, so we are already on the smaller one, which is 8mm, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I will keep the wrenches out. I think these are also nice to just later have on the CNC. So we need to find like a nice spot where to store them. Animalistic Tech, welcome. Small chips. We will do some carving. At least that's the plan. Let's see if the DIY 3D printing gods are with us today. But yeah, let's hope for the best. Okay. We also at some point have to finish up the electronics enclosure because like there's still like a pie flying around in there that has that needs to be in a better shape. And I also still have to like design and print something to like organize these cables better because right now like I'm not quite sure which one is which. So we kind of have to take this apart, but I'll try to keep that kind of like under control. So for the people who missed the previous installments of our little like adventure here, we use these 24 gauge RJ45 cables, which amateurs might mistake for Ethernet cables. They are not. But these we will use to connect the steppers. The reason we are using these is that they are very easy to place or like to put in and take out. Plus, they have a mechanical lock to prevent them from slipping out accidentally. So they kind of checked all the boxes I had. I'm just trying to organize it now in a way that stuff isn't endangered. Wood chips, metal chips, potato chips. Potato chips sounds delicious. But basically the plan for today is I just want to get started very, very simple. So I just want to carve a little bit of stuff into this spoil board here. I prepared a hello world, basically, or literally. So I just want to carve that into the spoil board. That's actually already my goal, would just be some carving. I do have some wood, but at first, before like making like a lot of chips with like cutting stuff, I want to put this into its enclosure. because like it's my living room, literally. That's why it's called living room workbench. And 3D printing in the living room is fun. CNC machining in the living room considerably less. So this first needs enclosure before we like make a lot of mess. Okay, let's see. We do have, if I remember, and I think I do remember, we have nylock nuts in here, so we don't need to have any thread locker on here. I think I have to ream these holes quickly. There's some fuss in there. So move the camera a little bit. Not the cleanest hole I printed so far. Don't think there's anything in this box we need. Just put this on top here and create a bit more space. And that's what I feared, like not in nuts. All the way in the back. Yeah, this one I have. This one I have. This one I have. This one doesn't want to. Let me grab a slightly longer M5 screw. I have this. Yeah, here it is. I think we just need to be a little bit careful when we put the screw in here. Do not push this back fully. Okay, and this one it works. You just have to be cautious 4 times. Okay, that also worked. This one also worked. I think the trick is just like push it very slowly forward and like turn it already so that the screw catches the nut. And this one's also fine. Okay. Then we have 4 times success. I'm not quite sure what the best height to mount this is, but I think I'll just put it flush. One thing to consider, the motor has very little space on top in the enclosure. Oh, the screw is out. I hope I can. No, we lost the nut. That is annoying. Okay, let me. How do I now get the screw out? By just pressing that together, and then like it can screw a little bit in the plastic. Okay, let me just use this one to pull the nut forward. I was thinking like maybe it's smart to put this one on before you install this, but then you cannot access all the holes here anymore, so that also doesn't really work. Yeah, now it has it. Okay. Be careful, I'm not sure if it now like already lost it again. Let's be quick about that. So my goal is now basically I shouldn't have this higher than the motor. Then I know that like in the top position on that, it doesn't collide with the top of the enclosure. Am I doing it good? Actually, where's the screwdriver head for that? Well, that will work. Then let's use this one. Just trying to make it somewhat equal. It's not really helpful right now. And there's Loki. I think he heard potato chips. Yeah. He's on a diet, so he's very food driven right now. He was at the 1 year checkup like 2 weeks ago at the vet. And the vet told us he's a little bit too fat. Like not dramatically, but like he can lose like 100, 150 grams. So now he's a little bit on a diet. And he's like, oh, you said food. Because before he was not very food driven, because he could just like whatever he could just eat whatever he wanted. Like as a kitten, I was just was very lenient. But I think he will be very unimpressed with the Makita. Yeah, this is perfect. Now it's just like slightly over the motor, but that should be just fine. The only thing I noticed, like there is a little bit of play in the axis here. Ravenkeeper, I think has a little bit less because he also has like an extra linear rail here. So it's something I need to take a look at. Hi there, Steve. Welcome. I will take a look at later. But I think besides this, it's quite good. Like you can press the hold button here to tighten. And this, I kind of wonder, should we quickly put, I don't want to put this cable into a drag chain, to be honest. We could do it now temporarily, maybe. But I think it's fine to just kind of let it slop over here. Let's do a quick function check. There's one very unimpressed cat, but it works. So the vacuum turned on, spindle turned on, so this is all fine. Then I would say let's just boot that thing up and see if we can make it move. I don't think you want to chill there, Loki. That is I don't think you want to chill there. Okay. Let's turn this one on. I do see LEDs, so that's good. And while it starts up, give me like 5 seconds. I think I just put him in his cat tree because then he will be a little more chill. And which is also a different room, so then he has a little bit more quiet. And I also need to quickly grab the end mill. 1 second. I tricked myself. I actually already had the end mills. Let's see. Let's put this around the back. And this one I will likewise just put in a big around and just keep like quite some cable here. And there's a green LED here. It's actually quite nice. So you see it has power. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. Like you see, like actually it's powered or not. Let's not put this on yet. But I just got like a starter kit end mills. And there is this one, which is like a V carving bit, 30 degrees, I think. 30 degrees. And this is what we will use to do some carving. This one has a 1/4 inch size. which is quite uncommon in Europe. But for some reason, the CNC would still have like 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch sizes. This is I have to lie now, 6mm collet, 6mm collet. And then I have like a reducer from 6mm to 1/4 inch. So that's something we'll need to use in a second. But so first, what I would do is let's just run the program. You didn't get a relay yet? No. So basically, the electronics box is not really finalized yet. So we do miss the control thing. We miss the case, of course. My end plan would be to add a power outlet here on the side, because like this section of the controls, you see kind of the PCU in there, but basically there's like 4 centimeters that are completely empty front to back. And this I want to use to basically add a power outlet here, which I wire up to the power input here. And then we have enough space here to have like a nice relays. I'm not sure if I use a solid state one or like a normal relay. And then basically I can just plug the Makita in here as well. And then this would go into the vacuum, with the hope being that the vacuum doesn't turn on from the steppers alone. But let's see how that turns out. But yeah, I still have to plan it a little bit. Let me see. Can I also move the laptop forward a bit? Yes, I can. Not too much, but a bit. Oops. Here. So let's just home that first. And that is not a good sign. For some reason, this did not move smooth. Let's try this again. I'm not sure if the lead screw slips. I think like this side doesn't move here, the Y stepper. Let's quickly investigate that. Push this a bit back. Stepper bus. Stepper. Oops. Stepper bus. Stepper equals stepper Y1 should be this one here. Oh, I have that. Stepper Y1. Yeah, this one moves. So this one does bus. This one does not bus. No bus here. Let's see, that might be just some cabling issue that something isn't plugged in. So let's do some investigation. I'll quickly shut this off and then we can check the cabling. Do you plan on using the Makita for other things? Just use an XT30 plug or standard PC plug. Forgot the name. It will take a lot less space in electronics box. Yeah, like I kind of want to have the option to use it as a router. So I'm not super into cutting the plug off. So for now, I would like to keep the normal cable. That's like I checked. There's enough space for like an outlet. Also on the back, so it's fine. And like this electronics box, like again, like there's 4 centimeters space completely free here. That will be fine. I get that like XT30 would use a lot less space, but yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, I did mess between the streams with the end stops when I combined the cables. And I checked all the end stops, but I did not check the motor wires, to be honest. So non-zero chance I screwed something up. Let's see. So on first glance, I don't see anything that is off. I do see it. That is a bad crimp. There's a loose cable here. And that looks to be, yeah, this is a four pin wire. So this is a stepper. And I don't think I have to check to know that this is the stepper that has a problem now. So let's fix that. Yeah, but basically I fixed all the, so what I did is I combined the ground pin of two end stops per Ethernet cable. That gave me like 2 wires free in total. And that I use now for lights. So I do have a little bit, or like a little Vago clamp here, one for ground and one for 24 volt, which you can later use to install the lights in the case. Yep. And I thought I was done with crimping. It's haunting me. Let's see if we can make that work. The only thing is now, like, this would be tiny bit shorter than the others, which is not ideal. Because it means there's like most stress on this one crimp. But I'm not really in the mood for crimping all 4, so let's see if that will work. If that would make issues again, I will just recrimp all 4 of this plug. I just have to maneuver it in here. Not sure if this wants to. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like now, it's one cable is shorter and has like a lot more tension. Okay. Let's hope this is the only one. But yeah, so basically, because I do have quite limited storage space for tools. So I only have, at the moment, I have the 12-volt Bosch router. And I think it's nice to have the Makita as like a stronger alternative for things where the Bosch isn't quite cutting it. That was a little bit my thinking, why I really want to keep the Makita on its like normal plug. And literally like 2 weeks ago, I already used it for that. And I was like really happy that I had the Makita laying around. Okay, let me stepper bus this one again. Yeah, now it's buzzing. So let's try this again. That looks a lot better. This cable is a bit annoying, but I don't think there's any danger that it can be like squeezed anywhere or something like that. Okay, perfect. So in CNC world, it's a bit different than in 3D printers. So normally 3D printer, right? You would home and then like you just go. For CNC, like imagine this would be our workpiece. I would now mount that here on the spoil board with like some clamps or something. So now basically what we need to do is we need to move to our 0 point. So in Y, we need to move forward quite a bit. And in X, we need to move over quite a bit. And then in Z, we have to move down quite a bit. Actually, looking at this, I hope there's the tool is long enough for what we are planning to do. Maybe I have to drop the router like a little bit down because like I mean this is now like very thin to cut into. So let's see. Hi, the salmon. Welcome. How many enders was sacrificed for this build? One ender was sacrificed, and that was an ender 3XL. I think it was called XL. Ender 3 Plus. It's an oversized ender. So basically, it's an ender 3 with a 300 by 300 millimeter bat, and it was in quite poor condition. And we did have quite reuse quite a lot. Like basically, the entire frame is reused. We reused cables. We reused the motors. We reused end stops. We did reuse the lead screw of that. We had 2 more, but separate story. And I have quite a lot of stuff in here. We also reused the display, and we reused the main board. Yeah, all the parts left are in. If you can see it, yeah, these 2 boxes contain the parts that are left. It's mostly fans and mechanical parts from the extruder and stuff. I don't think the extruder parts are really reusable. It's just like the world moved on. So yeah, I think we made the best out of an old printer. There's also like a simpler, like this is the Ender 3 Rodmod. And there's a simpler version of this project, which is like the Ender 3CNC or E3CNC, not the Rodmod. And that reuses like also the weed wheels and the belts, and like basically every single screw is reused in this like basic project. Hi, Charlie, welcome. Looks like you're really close to making some chips. Yeah, I mean, like the plan is now I would just do like a dry run now without the tool, just like export the G code from Fusion and like try to make it move. And then we tried it with a tool. Let's see about that. Starting with something simple. Yeah, we will just do a carving actually in the spoil board. I just want to carve like Hello World, and if that works, I'm already like stoked. This is my first CNC experience, so. And cutting boards with inlays. No, no boards being cut yet. I think PCB boards is definitely on my wish list of things I want to try. I think it's really cool. I was actually already thinking of because I have these breakout boards here with the RJ45 cables. I was always thinking like making like a custom PCB for that. There would be maybe something nice in the future. Just have a custom PCB here instead of these like 3 breakout boards. Would be a cool project. I think you can use an old CR10 as well. Yeah, pretty sure. The only difference is from the CR10, you do have to tweak some parts a little bit maybe. Because like this and this are 40/40 extrusions, and the CR10 doesn't have them. So on the CR10, you would have more of these 20/40. So this would be a 20/40, and this would be a 20/40. But besides that, CR10 works as well. I was actually checking for either CR10 SE or for the Ender 3 Ender 3 Max. That is how it's called. Ender 3 Max. Exactly. And this one I got for 70 euro, which was like, or 65 euro plus shipping. So it was basically for free, and I took this one. I had the CR10 SE. Was the guy wanted like 90 or something, and I just took the Ender 3. The big benefit of this, big benefit, of the CR10 is you get already 2 lead screws because the Ender 3 only has 1 lead screw on that. The CR10 SE, not the first one, the SE has 2, so you only have to buy 1 lead screw. Reuse the mainboard, yeah, there it is. And I'm 100% certain that whoever had that board was playing around with the VREF, because like these are actually really toasty, which maybe not the worst idea because I have fans flying around here. There are fans in here from this printer. Just have to find one that is crimped correctly. Maybe it's good to just point the fan at these. Oh, we also have a CR Touch. I don't know if this is useful or not. Maybe that this is useful if you do PCB boards or something, want to find 0. I don't know. We will find out. This one looks like something we can quickly reuse. GDS time. Okay, we just need to quickly check the polarity. But yeah, these are mostly the electronics part left from the Ender. Biggest part being the screen, but this will be reused. I want to have like a little like controller thing with an emergency stop. There's a filament runout sensor, which truth be told, I most likely will install on the 2.4, somewhere here on the roll. And yeah, for some reason this machine came with extra fans, so I also have like some 2040 blower fans and stuff, so that is nice. So just some stuff like I will most likely reuse most of that while we're looking at the remains of the Ender. These are the mechanical parts plus some random shit I bought for the CNC. So I think, oh, this one is the pi adapter that still will go in here. So everything in bags is not from the Ender. There's some, yeah. Like from the Ender, most that is left here from mechanical parts is screws and stuff. And the screws I will just put in my screw storage, and then we will see what we do with those. They will turn up in some project. So I think I really like. Oh yeah, and I have still have the hot the Ender 3 bags. I still have, of course, and the X carriage. Not quite sure what to do with those yet. Ravekeeper suggested to just use the X carriage to do some test cuts in aluminium. I think that would be good last use for that. For the bat, not sure. It's a wobbly 300 by 300 bat. I don't think I have any specific use for that. Okay, we want to have a fan. So my only concern, let me quickly check. Because this one I can plug it in both directions. But this one has plus and minus markings. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Oh, that's a 12-volt fan. Maybe this was a 12-volt fan. I hope this didn't connect. Well, let's try a different fan. I mean, this is a fan for sure, but we quickly have to crimp that. Maybe it's here. It also needs to be crimped. This is 12 volts. I dumped a lot of fans in here because later we will have fans on the thing here. Oh, I know. No, it's also 12 volt. Okay. Let's quickly crimp this one. More crimping. I think it's actually good to have a little bit of airflow over those because they are toasty. So my suspicion is that the previous owner of this printer, back when it was a printer, played around with the VREF because like the VREF basically determines the amperage of the motors. Need a capacitive touch probe. I don't think the wheel touch will do it. No, I actually have like I do have a probing plan or like a plan for how to do the zero offset, but that's for next time. For today, we wing it. Will this runout sensor be more reliable than the stock format one? The stock format one, to be honest, is mostly annoying because it's in the printer and like wiggling around. I think these like basic runouts, second time, these basic runout sensors are quite okay. Let's see, I will try it. I actually have like another one as well with which I didn't have bad experience. But I was also thinking of just mounting like one of these smart runout sensors there. Then I just have to bite the bullet and like buy one of these big Tech smart runout sensors. I think they're not too expensive. But then I would have something proper. Just like it's a bit annoying sometimes because I don't have a runout sensor at the moment, and it is a big machine, so I do run bigger print jobs that can use some filament. And if you don't have a fresh spool, it's sometimes nice to know that it will not ruin the entire print if it runs out of filament. Never happened to me, of course. Okay, quickly check. Plus is on this side. Oh, I totally forgot. There's also like we could have used one of these headers as a fan as well, and we didn't have to crimp, but hey. No, it's crimped. And the good thing is it doesn't have power, so we didn't destroy the 12-volt fan. So hey, there's something. Okay, then that means we quickly have to configure this fan. I think the best is to quickly peek into Ender 3 4.2.2 Clipper config and just quickly check what they use as a fan. PA0? It's the only one, but I have the suspicion when you finally do the tool changer or index, we'll have rollover anyway. Yeah, exactly. This is still my plan for this machine. I actually ordered Creality SpacePi X4 filament dryer, which this machine will be somewhere else in the future. The plan is to just have this filament dryer with 4 slots on top, and this is then basically from where I feed the tool changer. So I'm kind of like already investing into that direction. I'm pretty sure that the PA0 is the big, quote unquote, big fan here. I should pin that somewhere because every stream I feel like I'm looking for the stupid pinout. I feel like I looked for one before. This is something I visited before. Hmm. Yeah, it's the same we already had. This is not really what we need and not the printer we have. One second, let me quickly check in Discord. Like I know we had this stupid pinout already 5 times. No, Mr. Lees, I posted that before. I just have to find it. EZ42, the drivers most likely is connected via UART, so current is firm. No, I don't think so. Like from the configuration I have, printer config, they are not configured via UART. They are just with a step deer enable pin. I thought this week to make a collection of pinout for you, like you always have trouble finding. Yeah. Do you happen to have the pinout of the 422 handy? Ah, here it is. Now we need to find the fan. Stepper, stepper, stepper. Where are my fans? Am I blind? It's LCD. Oh, I think they're not highlighted like this. Right, can I? This looks better. Fan, fan, fan. Ah, here. Fan plus, minus, bad. Yeah, this is this big one. And where do you go? B6. Okay, not sure. PA0 kind of goes there. So does other things. I mean, here are the fans. K fan 1, K fan 2. I currently have it plugged into K fan 1. And this is all plus. And then this one. So they are linked together. And they go here, and then it goes up into this B4, but I have no clue what this part here does. And this goes to PA0 here, PA1, PA2. So it's either PA0, PA1, or PA2. So let's just copy that. I don't think it's PA0. Let's configure this output pin. And see what that does. It is PA0. Let me see. If I have a second one of these, this is different. What do we have here? This is a 24-volt fan. Now let me just crimp a second one, then we can put them both on, and then like that is perfect. And we can just put them on here next to each other. And then all the steppers get like a nice breeze. And then I think we are ready to run some program. It's just the fans are just peace of mind. It's on the same block as heaters. Yeah, exactly. Like there's the fan here, Steve, like on the big block, but there's also the two there. I'm just not sure what pin that then is. Because the ones that I now plugged in, they're definitely controller fans, I assume. Take a look at the ender config. Yeah, that's also what I did before, but I assumed that the PA0 would be the big block here. Seemingly it's not. What letter's on the SD card slot? A. There's an A on the SD card slot. Alpha. What does this letter mean? I didn't feel like this A has any major meaning. This is a turbine, the second one. But now we have stepper cooling. Okay. Let's quickly on that again. 24-volt can't be powered fed directly from the MCU, so it needs some kind of MOSFET. Yeah, there's a MOSFET in between, but I don't know what kind of MOSFET this is. It's definitely better with the fans. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to like run like a bigger program. I'm pretty sure the guy dialed the VREF hub. Just trying to like kind of bring this in the right position, but I'm not good at that. Okay, so I would just use this now as our, yeah, now I screwed up here. Let's quickly re-on. Okay. Then, let me show Fusion. So this is kind of what I want to make. This is like a very simple carving. I just did a hello world. And, oh, this is already in the manufacture tab. So I played around with that. This stuff takes me quite a while because I have no clue what I'm doing. But if I simulate that, basically this is what we gonna do. This is the plan. So it should carve this hello world. I do have the correct tool here. That is all kind of set up. So basically, the important thing is we have these setups, they're called. You can have multiple setups for like making a part. And can I? Maybe edit that? Ah, yeah. So this is the setup. And we see this has like a home or like an origin coordinate, which in this case is the center of the piece. And our goal is basically, because this is 0, as far as the program is concerned, this is 0. So we need to now basically bring, and I thought it was lower left, but it is, oops, it's desk. So we kind of need to bring this just in the center, more or less. Let's just do 120. So this is quite center. I'll bring it a little bit forward as well. And then basically this would be now the position I want to use as 0. And now something that's very uncommon for printers, we say set kinematic position x0, y0, z0. Z we later have to find, but for now it's fine. And now we set kinematic position. Yeah. And now, nope, let me jump to browser. So I run the set kinematic position with 0, 0, 0. And now we see that like all coordinates are set to 0. So if we now run the program, this will be the home position. The letter tells you what drivers are on the board. Letter A means it's TMC2208 drivers, which should be able to have firmware configurable driver code. I'm not sure, because on the board, because yes, the 2208s technically have configurable driver current, and I am by no means an expert on Creality boards or in steppers in general. But all I can tell you is that there's a little screw here, this one, on each driver. And I know because I have a very similar board. I'm not sure what the letter says, but on this board, I had to reduce the current quite a bit. And I had to adjust the VREF here on these screws. So I think just from looking at the board that these also are VREF controlled. Because like the 2208s, yes, they can be connected via UART, but I don't think they have to be connected via UART, and most likely Creality didn't connect them. That's my reading of the bits and pieces I have available as information. How can you play with the speed and pauses for tool changing? Like speed depends on the tool and material used. That's something I have to learn still. There are some general recommendations on speed. For this one and carving, I don't think it really matters at all because there's very little resistance. So it will just like fly through. I think this will be a lot more important when you have like, if you take out a lot of material. And if you have hardwood or aluminum or like harder materials like that. So for now, I have no clue. Did you not get the macros from Raven to do all the set positions? I think he gave me something. This is really bare bones. We start from scratch, Steve. 422 doesn't have UART connection for the MCU. Yeah, I think the 427 might have it, but 422 does not, maybe. Something like that. And welcome, Ravenkeeper. It is Friday, and we have cake. So, we actually are about to start the first G code. Like, there's no spindle here yet. I want to do like a dry run. So in Fusion, what you can do is you can post-process. And I do use the Clipper post-processor, some variation that I found online. So basically, I can just post-process this file and put it out to my desktop here. I already did that, and I also now see like it creates these like NC program. I have no clue how this works yet. but there are two because I did it twice. So I would just upload this file now quickly. And there we have our 1001 G code. Those pods are for reref. Yeah, the pods are for reref. That's also my reading. So I would just start it now. I have no clue what happens. I would expect this thing to move. And that's why we do a dry run, because I did not expect it to do that. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Do we have a G-code viewer here? No. View 3D, scan, download, edit file, maybe. What did it do here? Oh, it calls pause. That might be the issue. Let's remove the pause call here in the beginning. And I will just quickly move it back to where it belongs. Let's just home all. How's the origin set in Fusion? Ravenkeeper at the moment, it is just smack depth center. So my idea was to just put it to the center, and then it would like work around that, so to say. No fun. Crank it to 1000 RPMs, full send. Excellent. Reset the origins. Not sure if I can follow you, Steve. But yeah, I think this should be fine for what we are testing now. I think the problem was this pause macro call. Fairly sure about that. So let me quickly in X, we go to 120, we go to 150, and we go to 50. And then I will try this again now without the pause macro. Let's just try this again. Move out of range. Minus 22, minus 350. We have a known working Clipper post processor. I'll send you a Discord. Okay. Let me use your post processor. Let's use the known post processor. Let me see. I'll quickly download that. And then I need to quickly figure out in Fusion how to do that again. Let's edit that. Can I edit that? Here. Let's delete this one. And then import. And I select this post processor from Ravenkeeper. Select that. And then we can post process that. Let's just call this 2. Okay. Let me quickly upload that file. Okay. Did I allow negative travel in the printer config? I don't think so, Raven. Where did I need to set a negative travel? I think you also gave me a config at some point for that. But I think I used the plain one because I did. No, I think I based it up on your config. Can you also quickly shoot me the config? Then we can do a comparison. All axes need pos min minus 100. Okay, that is something I can quickly do. Let's go for a minus 200 just to be sure. I mean, Z90 seems reasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used your config. Save and restart. Because Z has the weird position min already. But maybe I lost it at some point. I'll just use, because it didn't move, I'll just reuse the position. Let's try this. Oh, I was showing the wrong thing. But let's try the new 1002 G code. It does move. Very slow, but it does move. So I think this is working. By the way, Raven, question. So I have quite a bit of wobble here in the y x-axis. Do you also have that, or is yours better because you have the linear rail on the back? Nicely done, sir. Well, it's not cutting yet. Might need even more min travel since origin in Fusion is on the middle of the piece. If it's long work pieces, I always do front left. Yeah, like I'm not quite sure why it ended up in middle. Front left is my intention. I mean, I should be able. I mean, this is all new for me. Just like to click here, right? Yeah, then it should be front left. Now I just have to like redo this somehow. Yeah, that's happy. And then these two I can kill, right? I don't know why it creates these NC programs here. I'm not sure what this means. And then technically I can post-process that again. Yes. Yeah, and now it has it again. Okay, check. So if I now upload that again, now it should only move in positive direction. So if I let me then start a little bit. Oh, that was. I mean, maybe we can do that. So if I now run this, it should only move in these directions, basically. I'll set kinematic position to 0 again. Let me do a quick double check that I overrode that. Yeah. And now it's also writing left to right, basically, because I changed the origin, it changed the order a little bit. So I think this should work. Add accurate curve. For the Ender 3 frame, it's such a small rod span, so it's no issue effect. Okay. So you think, although it like does wiggle here a bit, it's not a problem. I mean, I'll see how it goes. Probably Rail mine doing work there. Yours is a bit longer, so might be it. Yours is actually wider. Yours is wider. Mine is 2 centimeters less wide than yours. But yeah, like the upgrade with the rail on the back is still like an option for me. I'll see how, if it's a problem, I will make mine a bit stronger. So the only thing that I now need to figure out is the Z. I have a little bit the suspicion that my Z doesn't quite reach with the tool I have in mind. But yeah, it's only moving this direction and this direction now. So this is good. So the change in origin worked. Okay, let's put some tool on and figure out if this works. So as I mentioned, we now have a 6mm collet here. So 6mm collet. And this is a made in China reducer from 6 to 1/4 inch. And from my tools, I do have this V-carve bit. Let's see if I can. That is also 1/4 inch, so this should fit in here. There's no power on the machine. I will always pay attention to that. I have a lot of respect towards routers. I have a lot of respect for these machines, which I think is a good thing to have. Okay, this is a tool loaded. Let me see if I can just give you like the side view of that. I think that's the most. This is as low as I can go. So my concern is now basically that I don't have the range here to cut this very thin piece of material. And I think my concern is confirmed. Let me think, because we can drop the Makita a little bit lower, but I don't think we can drop it that much lower. Because like here's already like the point where it will collide. Send another config that contains stuff that should be in printer config. Okay. Yeah, this is now minimum, and there's still like quite some space. So I think this is as low as we should go, because like it still needs to dive in. Let's see. Where's my, oh, here. So this is a little bit lower, but still not enough. Raise the bed with thicker wood. Yeah, this is an easy solution, but that requires me to have thicker wood. So we need to find something that I can make that work with. That's not a problem I expected to have, to be honest. The things like this is more or less designed to have like 18mm spoil board, I think. Which, let me quickly check how much distance do we need to bridge here. So a little bit less than one width of that professional measurement here. Yeah, so something like 18 millimeters we need to bridge. Let me quickly look what I have flying around. Give me a second. I will be back in a minute. Okay, so good news. I have 18 millimeter MDF. Bad news, that will not fit in here. And my plunge saw is at my friend's place. So second challenge will be now, we kind of need to cut like a small section out of this. So I will quickly grab a saw. Not really what I planned for, but I'll be back in another second. Okay, so I have a saw. That would be a lot nicer with my plunge saw, but you cannot have it all in life. Sometimes you have to do it by hand. So I think my plan would be, and I was saying that I'm also missing double-sided tape. This is like now very deep in the realm of improvisation. To make a bit of space here. My music died. So I do regret giving away my plunge saw for the week. You can't cut it with a CNC? Well, it first has to fit in, right? Before I can cut it with a CNC. Good thing is it goes quite quick. So hey, this is the first time we saw on stream. I am running out of space. Whew. Some sport. Put this back in here. And there's a big mess on the floor. 1 second, but we do luckily have a shop vacuum. Hey. The cat is not impressed. The cat is not impressed. He's an absolute hero, but he hates vacuum cleaners. That's his kryptonite is vacuum cleaners. No, I was just thinking like, I mean, this was the one I planned to put in. But now I'm thinking like maybe we can just use this one, but it's just ever so slightly too wide. But you know what? That went quite quick. So maybe I'll just cut like another quick strip here off. Then we can use the big one. Then we have a little bit less hassle with stuff. But actually, we also have to cut lengthwise. So let me just cut something like this, and then we should be good. I use slow to use a chainsaw in a room. Yeah. Nice hit on MDF dust to cap off the week. Yeah, exactly. You know, like it's you need to enjoy the nice things in life. Some people smoke, I cut MDF. Good thing is it collides with the spindle, so that is kind of the thickness we need. And we have 2 pieces. So now this fits, which is good. And this is definitely tall enough to be cut. Are they ever impressed? Yeah, sometimes Loki is impressed, but most of the time he's not impressed. Oh, he's quite chill. I would say let me quickly grab some double-sided tape to like anchor this. That's the last thing I need, and then technically we can cut, right? That's the last thing that's needed. Macros ATC are in the text I sent you in Discord. Say variables ATC. Yeah. But I think for the first cut we don't need that. Let's just see how it goes. 1 second. I'll be right back. Here we go. Good old double-sided tape. For carving, this should be fine. This is the same tape I also use, like if I use the router by hand, I use the same to connect my template. So I'm pretty sure this will be holding up just fine. And we know this doesn't fit this orientation, so that's just. And the spoil board I'm gonna make will be like 18 millimeters, so this will not be a problem later. The problem is only now because the spoil board is so thin. Yeah, but this will hold fine. Okay. I am low-key nervous if that goes well. So I will now slowly move that down until like the spindle, like I can turn the spindle now by hand. I'll show you from the side. So I'm now just gonna move that down. And not sure if I can do like another 25. And I can do 10. I really hope like it's already like relatively low again. Yeah, I think this is kind of like a good height. And yeah, we should still have like 5 millimeter of vertical travel. But it also means like the spoil board I need to make should be quite thick. Just looking at this, like it needs to be relatively thick that I can cut thin materials. Because like right now, I mean, this also like this one is the shortest end mill I have. But yeah, shall we send it? Ready to keep the rails, yes. But there's also still you need to consider there's still the nut, the lead screw nut is still there. That takes off a little bit of my travel in Z on the bottom. And I didn't think this would be a problem, but in this case, it is now a problem. But yeah, do I forget anything, Ravenkeeper? Yeah, the lead screw, it doesn't take a lot. It takes like 4 millimeters of Z travel there. And now basically without that, there's maybe like 6, 7 left. So it's definitely enough for the carve. But yeah. Ravenkeeper, did I forget anything? Or can I turn on the spindle and we send it? You give the go. I'm waiting for Ravenkeeper to give the go. 0 all access. Yes, see that I forgot. All access have been zeroed. Hover over the E-stop. Yes, always. Never ask Ravens, always send it. Yeah. Okay, off we go. Cat will be very unimpressed, but I think he will just go to the other room. Oh, I unpacked. Oh, actually, now the cat is there. Okay, whatever. Let's turn this on. One sec. Cat, go, go. Cat goes. Okay. Turn on. It has power now. Okay. I mean, it worked, but it is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Oh, and we forgot to turn on our fans for the... Oh, hold on, our manual focus. So it did the carve, and like, I mean, it looks kind of okay. But yeah, it's like at least half the size I expected it to be. Try using a black marker on the piece so we see it better. Yes. But I think, I mean, this is small. Does the x-axis wobble? Yeah, it does wobble a little bit. That's what I showed before asking Ravenkeeper. But like if I mean, right now the camera wobbles. It does wobble a little bit. If I really pull on it, it does. Let's see. This is something we need to look at. And like MDF is most likely not the best material to carve into. But it is a carving. So I'm quite happy. It's first CNC program. I think what I would try, let's carve a little bit deeper. So I would just do it again. So I'll just move back to 0, 0, 0. Oh, while cutting, I didn't pay attention. Like there are a lot of things I need to pay attention to. Okay, so this is back at 0, 0, 0. Let's see. So we can basically just edit this engrave. And where is it? Here. So this defines our heights. And offset is -1. Bottom height. Even the V wheel on the can go fast, hard on plywood V wheels. Yeah. Yeah, Alu might want that rail. Yeah, that's also what I'm thinking. So I will just double the cutting depth. Then maybe let's actually do like let's just double it. So I go to -2, and then we see. Okay, I post-process that. I will upload the file again. And then I would say, let's just rerun the exact same thing. And as Ravenkeeper suggested, oh shit! Now I destroyed it. I ran the wrong direction into the little end stop, but in the end. Okay. That looks quite good. Okay, I'll set everything to 0 again. So now we should have double the cutting depth. I'm not quite sure what angle is the best to show you that. Because like this is, oh no, I can't. Okay. Not quite sure what now happened, but this is like the camera height we have for the rest of the stream. Yep. That was the end of my spring thing here. Something inside that cracked right now. Okay. Well, this is the height we have now. So I will rerun the program now. That should carve like New Hello World, and you should see it better this time. I think it's actually not the worst angle now here. Let me quickly do manual focus for you. Okay. Decent night anyways, yeah. No, like this thingy, like I have the same on switch fire, but this like something like just cracked. I don't know why. Let's see. I'll check that after stream. Let's turn this on. Vacuum cleaner. Many steps to think about. Ravenkeeper, I did rerun the same file, but I re-exported and re-uploaded it. At least that was my intention. And this is the outcome. I'm not sure if it's a lot different, to be honest. So maybe I also screwed up. I just think like the MDF also doesn't carve very well. It does look maybe a bit deeper. I'm not quite sure. Shall we try again with like cutting depth 3? So I just changed it to 3, and if I now simulate, if I find that. Oh no, but this is a different program, like it runs backwards. I think Ravenkeeper, you're correct. Huh? We don't understand it. Oh, it runs backwards. No, I think it's correct. Ravenkeeper, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I did now here should result in a 3mm cut. You cannot see it, correct? But the top height here says -3. Or like bottom height is top height -3. So I think this should be correct. I set now to 3, and then I post-process that, and this is the 1002 program. I overwrite that, and it says that post-processed the thing. So if I now re-upload that, I drop that here, and it says it's uploaded it, then I assume now this should be the updated one. Let me see if we can edit this file. Send your pick in Discord. That way you can call the program what you want. Let me see. I mean, but the name shouldn't matter, right? But all the Zs I see here are very shallow. I think this is more the problem. The Zs are very shallow. It's like minus 0.4. It never goes deeper than minus 0.5. Clarity's sake, yeah. It's also fun to hold the camera the entire time. Let me see. I think the real problem is that this is 0.5, and I think oh, this is 0.5. Like from the bottom to the top is 0.5, and I think this is what limits it. So I think I need minus 1.5 here to just make it deeper. Can you just update that, please? I didn't find out yet how to just tell it to update everything. So if I now post-process that with the wrong name, I'm sorry, Ravenkeeper. I think it's a Fusion issue. You need to go to the edit toolpath and look for axial something in one of the tabs. Control G to update. Nice. Okay. Axial something. Let me quickly, if I now post that, before we look into that, let's quickly see if my change here fixed it already. So if I post that, yes, override files. And then I upload that again. And I do see, by the way, the upload date here. So it says 23, so it's just now. So if I now edit this, yeah, it still only goes to minus 0.4, basically. So you say axial something. I don't see anything for that, Ravenkeeper. What am I looking for? So if I now simulate this one here, I'm not sure if it now dives deeper. It looks like it dives deeper. Not quite sure. Because this is feet, ramp, feet. Like we can look feet rates later. These are all the things. What like confuses me, it doesn't show me the bottom height here. The other previews I always saw, like I always saw the bottom height. It doesn't show that here. So I'm not sure if this oh, sorry, I'm looking at the I'm sharing the wrong. So the top height here is -3, but it doesn't show it here in this graph. So I'm not sure if this has any impact. Can't find it. Might be called something else. They love doing that. When you simulate, press the info tab and you'll see the tool XYZ movement. Okay, let's quickly check. So if I simulate, yeah, this is definitely toast. if I simulate the info tab. Ah, here, yeah. And we do that just very slow, and then we should see. Yeah, oh, you don't see that now? That's awkward. Yeah, it only does minus 0.4. This is exactly what I also see in the G code. I think maybe the problem is because the width of the cutter would exceed the width of the font here. So let me do the following. Let me just make that bigger. Now it's bigger. So if I now go to manufacture, Command G works. And let me quickly simulate that. You showed me the trick here. So if I simulate that and I go to the info tab, so now I expect the Z position to be less. Yeah, now we're at minus 0.8. So this is like double the cut depth now. And graph can be a pain to do since it's doing the actual font and does up-down movements to, yeah, exactly. So I think the problem is basically that the angle of the cutter, like the V shape of the cutter, it only dives so deep that it doesn't exceed the bounds basically of the letter. So if we want to cut deeper, it's also why it doesn't show the Z height most likely there. What we need to do here is make this wider. Let's just do 100. So I'll really dial it up here. Maybe that's not too much. Let's just send it. Okay, and now I think it might poke through. Contour selection. Okay, wait, let me quickly see if we. What did we break now? Okay, why it now lost these questions over questions? I don't have everything, yes. Yeah, now it goes to minus 1.1. I'm not quite sure why it now is a warning. Contour selection, one or more contours are missing selections to machine. What am I missing here? Let's quickly reselect everything. Yeah. Engraving seemed easy, but seemingly it's a pain in the butt. Then I'll select here. I don't want to select you. Go away. Fuck. Okay, now it's green. Fusion being Fusion, yeah. That's also what I know already from other parts of Fusion. Okay, so if we now look here, we go down to like minus 1.2. So it's like 3 times as steep. I think that's quite good. So let's try it again. I post-process that. And it's the same file again, but this is how we roll. 831. Oops. I will expand my marker section a little bit. And then I will move that back. Huh. It disabled the steppers for some reason. Let's quickly home that. You don't see it, but it's homing. Okay, let's bring this into the right neighborhood. Idle time. Yeah, I think the idle time is way too short. Especially for CNC right now, you want to change the tool and everything. You don't want to lose your position. That would really suck. Okay, this is pretty much 0. Let's move it a little bit further forward. Something like this. And then we set that X, Y, Z. Now I have a cat jumping around there. Let me quickly put him off the table because I think this is not the nicest spot if I now turn on the router for him. Next time I'll park him somewhere else and we do CNC. Okay. Then I think I'm ready for another run. Also make homing overhead macro. Yeah, a lot of stuff needs to happen. Everything is zeroed out. Well, that looks better. I mean, it's definitely deeper. It's bigger. I did just rip off the E. And the F is not perfect to do engravings, I think. But like overall, I think this is okay. I mean, like it does, it's running the program. That's the main thing I was concerned about. Don't have a small piece of some cabinet door or something, perfect for engraving. The thing is, like, I had this like piece of plywood, like, you know, the plywood I used for the case. I was kicking this piece of plywood around like for like 3 weeks, and like 2 days ago I just threw it out. So it was a bit of bad timing because it would have been perfect for that. A, it would have fit in the machine, we wouldn't have need to cut it. Plus, yeah, this would have been like a lot better. But I would say this is a success in my book. So we do have indeed a CNC. It's moving. We also have a broken camera arm, so that's a topic like for another time. Like it's just like the spring is broken, like it doesn't pull it anymore. Yeah, but it is CNC. Like it's doing what a CNC is supposed to do, which is pretty cool. So for me, next steps would now be I will manufacture a proper spoil board. That's step one. And that needs to be looking at this. I think I would rather opt for yeah, I think 18 is fine for now. So I would opt for 18 millimeter spoil board here. And then we need to manufacture spoil board. I'm not sure yet if I want to do it on stream or not. Potentially I do a spoil board off stream next week. Maybe we do it on stream. And then, yeah, I would just play around with it a little bit. And then we have to put this thing in a case. That's the next step. The case includes, we need to set up lights. We need to set up the dust shoe and the vacuum for that. We need to run the cable properly. We need to run all cables properly. And then, yeah, for me also, like, I need to get a little bit of experience. And then, like, one thing also, like, I will check a little bit if the stiffness is enough. I think for wood is fine. For aluminium, we might have a problem. Let's see. Because, like, from what I see, mostly what's flexing here is the rods. So I think if we have a linear rail there, it would for sure help. I mean, let's see. But yeah, I would count it as success. Serial request. Ravenkeeper, is this good enough for serial? I have Hello World engraved. I will send it in as a serial request. No, but yeah, I'm very happy. Like it performs, it does what it's supposed to do. I mean, Cat is not impressed, but it can't be too bad because he's already sitting like next to it again. So he doesn't like the sound for sure, but he's also like more annoyed by it than shocked. So that's positive. My plan is to put the cat out of the room at least, or the apartment, while I'm using the CNC. Although I think also when it's enclosed, it's maybe a bit better. Although the vacuum makes most of the sound, to be honest. Yeah. So next steps: enclosure, cabling, vacuum connection, etc. But I'm on vacation for 3 weeks now. I go to Italy skiing and I go to my parents. So the next 3 weeks we will not have streams, which is a shame. But at least we managed the milestone of using the CNC for the first time. So basically, when I'm back, we will finish this off, and then I hope that it is good enough to cut aluminum. We shall see if the flex we see here is causing trouble or not. But that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in. It was quite a popular stream, actually. I think we had like over 20, which for me is a lot, over 20 consecutive parallel viewers at the same time, over 20. So it's quite cool. Yeah, enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, and see you in 3 weeks after hopefully an excellent free skiing vacation. Bye.